Hello. Are you currently feeling a little restless? Are you a business owner, business leader, minister, or influencer? Feeling restless? I feel it too. A lot of people do, and yet we never really talk about it. But I'm here today to say you're not alone, and there's a reason why. Um, the first is that it's not your fault that you feel restless. Usually, this means that something needs to change in your life or business. Most everyone is told that if they keep going on one thing so many times that eventually they'll feel better and have success. And yet if you feel in your heart that you need to continue to go on your goal, then by all means do so. But at the same time, if you're feeling restless, it usually means that uh maybe you might be starting to doubt whether or not it's working, or you're thinking oh man, I need to make a change, right? And being restless is by no means only in business owners. A lot of times people feel restless when they are need to or are about to change a new job, or they need to change something in their company, or they need to change um, or they're facing change. A lot of times, just simply facing change can be really difficult. I remember when I graduated with a degree in engineering, and I was in the engineering field, and I had already been by that time for a while. I had tried construction, I had been in maintenance, I had been in road construction for a small bit, and I could feel it in my spirit that I was restless, and there something wasn't quite right, and I needed to pivot in my life. And maybe you might feel that too. And guess what? You're not alone. There's a lot of people who are feeling the same way. And again, it's okay to say, I've done and done and done and done, and I've worked and worked and worked and worked, and it's time to pivot or make a change, or a small little improvement, or do something a little bit different. And that's okay. I'm here to tell you it's okay to want that, because whatever it is, that this new thing that's calling you, maybe that's where you need to go. I don't know. um so long as you feel it in your heart, and it aligns with, it's there's this energetic alignment that you'll feel between your head and your heart and your stomach, kind of thing. um so another thing is that if you're feeling restless, sometimes it can be, it can feel like, well, if I make this new change, or I take place in this new improvement, what if my, you might be thinking, what if my family doesn't like it, or what if they don't accept me? That's a common, or friends and family, that's a common fear. It is a common fear. It's important to state that, because like Brene Brown says, shame thrives in the dark and the silence. And so naming it, bringing it out there and saying, look, I feel restless. I feel like I need to make a change. I feel like I need to make an improvement. I feel like I need, whatever it is for you. I get it, and you're not alone. And usually that is a sign of something. Being restless is very often a sign that you might need to take action. What that action is, I don't know, but I do work as a transformational business mindset coach with business owners, influencers, and ministers to help them get those foundations that they need in order to lead their team and their business greatly, and build on their community, right? I don't so much of my business I don't really do for me necessarily. I mean, everybody needs to pay their bills, but at the same time, like, this even is, a big reason as to why it is that I'm here right now, talking to you. for free, right? And I really hope that you find this message to be comforting and validating to your experience, and to just know that you're not alone can be incredibly freeing, right? And so yes, your family, I can tell you from experience. So I did the transformational business mindset. I transformed my business, I transformed my mindset, and I transformed my life. And I, instead of doing what other people wanted me to do, instead of doing what other people wanted me to do, instead of trying to constantly fulfill other people's goals and dreams for my life, I I had taken that that moment that I had said that I was feeling restless in engineering. I had taken that step to say, I feel restless. I need to do something different. And maybe you might be at that moment as well, where you are saying, I feel restless. And you're saying, I need to do something different. Well, it's your lucky day. Sometimes we're just waiting for permission, and I give you permission. So long as it's contributing to your community, it's a positive thing. You feel in your heart that you're supposed to do it, and it is helping other people in a positive way, right? There are certain things that, like, say, look in the Bible, right? There's certain things that are just straight up not right. Or look at our ethics, look at our government. What is the fruits? What would be the fruits of your labor? What do you think will happen as a part of this? Will it destroy a life, or will it build lives? Or will it build a life, right? These are things like building a life, building many lives. This is good. Destroying lives, causing chaos, causing destruction. Nuh-uh. Bad, 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 bad. Do not, do not. We want to build lives. And that's one of the things that I was facing too, is like, how do I know what I'm doing is good? How do I multiply my impact? How do I help people, right? And maybe you might be thinking that too, like, I know I need to do something, but how do I impact people? How do I help people, right? Think about the fruits of your labor. Think about, like, where you're going to go, right? These are things that can help you. This is fundamental to the things that I teach my clients about, which is, so what I teach my clients about is spiritual grit, abundant mindset, and leading greatly. But spiritual knowledge and having a good relationship with God, because I used to be an atheist. I was technically an atheist until about 25 years old, and I'm about 30. I'm in my mid 30s now. And I can tell you from experience that having God in my life is way better than having God not in my life. And maybe you might feel that way too. Maybe you might be, as a part of feeling restless, maybe you might need to have more prayer. That was one of the things that that can be incredibly, incredibly helpful. Write in the comments if you'd like to make a little prayer. When you say it out loud, or you type it out, you're making it official. You're saying to God and you're saying to the world, look, I need blank. Like, I need this. I need to go somewhere. And sometimes we have to be, as part of being restless, sometimes it's asking, where does the strength come from? Right? Where do we have this? How can we move forward greatly? How can we lead greatly? How can we have the strength to lead? And so, if you're feeling restless right now, I would recommend putting in the comments right now, just, say what's on your mind, and ask God for what it is that you need, because these are the fundamentals. These are the fundamentals of life. Like, I mean, even not even getting into business, in order to have a good business, you need to have your life in order. You need to have your health in order, and that's just basic, Like, these are the fundamentals, man. Because I see it over and over and over again. I see it in the unethical and the ethical and the insecure and the secure and the confident and the not confident. And every single time, every single time, if you don't have your house in order, your business, I mean, it becomes a deck of cards. We'll put it that way. Um, So don't worry if you need a pivot, if you're feeling that restlessness, if so long as you work from a place of love and so long as you treat others with love, your family will be perfectly fine with you. Um and if they're not, it will be temporary. Like a few years, I'd say. Um and the other thing, consider this, is that if they're not, maybe they might come around. But either way, the most important relationship that you have is with yourself. Um, and so, uh, the most important relationship that you're going to have is with yourself. And again, I can tell you from experience that before I started my transformational mindset and business and life journey, I had a terrible relationship with myself. And so, if you're feeling restless, it could mean it could also mean that it's time to, get to know yourself better and just kind of, or write your, or visit your goals, right? Like, am I working towards my goals? And do I need to change my goals at all or adjust a little bit? Do I need to set the sails and change the course just a little bit, right? Like, because you can have this overall arching idea, but nobody or nobody said that you can't. There you go. Nobody said that you can't, like, or if they did, then they're in their childhood and it's because you were small and tiny. And you're an adult now. So, or like you're bigger now, right? And you have hands and you have a face and you have lips that can speak and eyes that can hear and 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 eyes that can, okay, ears that can hear, eyes that can see, mouth that can speak. Guess what? You are a full grown adult and you are allowed and able to say, I can control my life. You're allowed. You're allowed to do that. And if you're feeling restless, sometimes we just need that little bit of that push or that little bit of motivation or that little bit of permission to say, I can do this. And you can do this, again, so long as it's something that contributes to your community in a positive way, positively helps someone, positively helps many people. And again, like, look, if you're uh like, what is the greatest book on good ethics? Well, okay, my mom would probably argue Miss Manners. That's actually a pretty good one too. Miss Manners can be good. I mean, if you're looking for etiquette, she's right there. But I would say um the Bible. I started reading it like just a few months ago, and it's on point with everything that God has taught me. Like, I haven't seen anything so far that has been out of line with what I've been taught. In fact, every time I open the Bible, I'm always like, "Ah, oh, yes, this is a refresher." And then also knowing the context is huge. And that's the same thing with our lives, right? Is understanding our context. The more that we understand our context of where we are, where we're going, and the fears that keep us from there, the more that by focusing on the fears, which on some level means focusing on the back so that you can see the front, if you overcome your fear, you can move forward a lot faster. And so that's what I do. That's one of the things that I do, is that I really help people face their fear. like face down their fear, put it into a new light, put it into a new perspective, and sometimes even transform and change those limiting beliefs. And if you're interested, there will be a website link underneath this, and it's charlottecoach.me. And so I'm a transformational business mindset coach who helps business owners, influencers, and ministers like yourself, possibly. I mean, if you connect with that, then we could be a good fit. Or if you're in the business field and you're looking to improve your leadership, you want to expand your impact on your community in a good, positive, ethical light. Hello. I'm here. I would love to work with you. um and maybe you might find yourself restless and in need of something new. Hey, that's exactly what I help with. So, if you're interested, go ahead and click down below, and I look forward to saying hi again. And this has been great. Thank you so much for your time, and have an amazing day. Bye.